So people think that we should deal with stress or problem solving, but you and I talk about trauma.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important to look at traumas and how to treat them?
Yeah. Because all the years I'm doing psychotherapy now, and it's now about quite 20 years I'm doing this work, showed me that if you go beyond the problem we have, you go deeper, you always find situations where we and our clients were overwhelmed. We couldn't deal with these situations. They were, many times, were really life-threatening, and it was hard to survive such situations. So we had to give up ourselves and split our internal structure in order to survive. And this produces a lot of symptoms on the surface. So that means whenever you have a symptom and you go deeper, you find trauma in the background. And this is just simple experience you can make, and everyone who has some troubles and difficulties, who wants to explore it, maybe he comes to the depth where trauma started in your life.
What's your connection? Because you're going to talk about the I function and the traumatizing experiences. What's the connection are you going to talk about?
What I mean learn is to, when we talk about trauma, this is a concept that has many definitions. And for me it becomes more and more clear that I, as a psychologist, I work with the psychotrauma. I work with the traumatized psyche. And what does it mean that psyche is traumatized? Yeah. And that something was very important. I found out that the traumatized psyche means that the different functions of our psyche do not fit together any longer. Mm-hmm. So that we end up in a situation where, for example, we have given up our I functions, we give up our identity in order in order not always being in contact with trauma feelings. And then we develop out of these surviving strategies. That means we want something that is most of that is impossible to get it. And then we have thoughts and perceptions, suppressed feelings. So what I'm really interested in is how the trauma infects our psyche. And by help of the constellation, you can find out a lot of things about what does it mean to have a traumatized psyche, or what does it mean to have a psychotrauma.
And how come you came up with this idea of constellation of intention and now of the sentence of intention?
Getting more and more precisely. The one thing is that when somebody comes and wants to change something, it's so important that he himself or the person herself says that she wants to change something. If this wish to change something comes from another person, comes from the partner or the children, or comes from the therapist, it doesn't work, because then you're still in your surviving strategies expecting somebody else to do something for you. Yeah? So the most important thing is that you have yourself an intention. And then the question is how to deal with this intention, and I found out if we ask the client to say a sentence, everything is included what in the moment is important to look at. Yeah, and in the sentence, I want to see my fears, for example. Everything is in. The I function, the wanting, the will, and emotions. And so we can work with it. The psyche, our psyche expresses in the sentences, expresses in the word, and we can show it in the constellation. That's a very simple way, but it's a very direct way to work with our clients.
Why did it change from the constellation of intention when you work with the client looking at his whole intention to the way you're doing now?
The intention in itself is an expression of the fragmented psyche. Yeah? So the idea that there is an intention that is only coming out from, maybe say, from the healthy part, it's not always the case. So if people formulate their intentions, they do it very often out of surviving strategies, and then you can see, if you look at the different parts of the intention, what is the healthy part, what are surviving parts, maybe where are the traumatized parts. So it's more precise. It's much more precise to look at the structure of the intention than only say, okay, you have the intention, let's work with the intention. Because the structure of the intention itself gives you so much information.
And more effective for the clients, I would say.
The client gets what he wants, yeah? And no longer that you as a therapist intervene in ways that you bring in something that has nothing to do with the intention, what we did before. And it sometimes is what's helpful, but also it could be distracting and could not meet the point, what is important in the moment for the client.